Hey guys, this is Liner Judah from the Guild 7 from Thunderhorn server. So glad to be with you on this short video. And this video is basically going to go over the WoW devs and all this current Legion information they keep wanting to give us. It's pretty much, I've, go to MMO Champion almost every day just like any other person that's been playing this game for as long as I have. And, the WoW devs have been, going to these cons and, at Gamescom they had another interview that they put out. And I just kind of wanted to go over, my own personal thoughts on what Blizzard's been saying on Legion. And for me, I'm really looking forward to Legion, but it's not because of Demon Hunters. It's not because of Illidan's return. It's because I am sick of playing a crap expansion already. And the fact that I have to wait another probably 7 months until I get this next expansion, I don't know. Like, if we didn't have the WoW tokens, I can honestly say that I would not be playing this game. Like, because I would not pay money to play this game. Gold, for me, I have tons of it, so I don't care. I just do that month to month or stuff. But, helping out my guild. And, we're all caught in that situation where, the guild still wants to raid. I'm one of the powerhouses in the guild, so of course, I want to be there to support my guild and get us further and further in Hellfire. But there's a lot of these things that I want to go over. So if you're looking on, the dev interviews, it's the one where they say, the team is never too sure if they're giving out too little or enough or too much information, which every single one of these things that they say is just double talk. Like, for instance, if you look on the progression, it says progression is a huge part of the game. When progression is done well, the game does better and people are happier and have more fun. Yes, Blizzard, of course. That's the way it should be. Like, a lot of the stuff when I was reading this interview just felt like a lot of just pleasant things to say. It wasn't anything, they weren't really saying anything other than just saying what appeases people's ears. And there was a couple of things that I do want to emphasize. One being that the internal alpha is ongoing at the office in preparation for the beta. That is very excellent news. I am really hoping that we can get the beta at least before BlizzCon. That's my ambition and hope, that Blizzard gets on the ball, because the faster we can get beta in our hands, playing at home, the faster we can get Legion in our hands. And I think if they were to wait till BlizzCon and then have 7 months of beta from BlizzCon to whatever month that is, it's just way too long. And for us to be in Hellfire Citadel for as long as we're going to be in is just going to kill my spirit of wanting to play this game inside. So I personally don't want that to happen. The other thing is that they were already like in process. They said this Legion has been worked on for over a year before the announcement. And then I was just listening to one of Preach's videos, and they said that they were in a toss-up between what expansion to actually give out. Should we do Legion? Should we do Warlords of Draenor? And they were like in this toss between, and I'm just like, wow, that's very shocking. That's very odd in itself. So yeah, I found that very, very hard to believe, and like I said, I was just shocked to hear that, and I was like, wow, that's to have garrisons in Legion. If they would have got Legion first, that would have been, I don't know how to properly think that, but it says, in this thing, it's like the quality and quantity of life of the content. It says the team needs to give players a reason to keep playing the content that they enjoy, as well as giving them more to do. Again, double talk. Yes, Blizzard, that's exactly what we need and exactly what we want. And this says the team is committed to quality, but it can't come at the expense of quantity and getting things in players' hands. If the team is spending a long time to make something perfect and players are starving for content, that isn't the right thing. Well, of course, Blizzard, that isn't the right thing. Like, every sentence that I read from this dev interview is stuff that we, the players, have already known for the majority of our WoW career. And we've experienced it time and time again. My whole thing, not even discussing Legion, but what was their rationale of patch 6.1? And, and then hearing, oh, we shouldn't have made that a major patch, like, it should have been 6.0.3. But Blizzard, you gave us that like almost 6 months later. Like it was the launch of Warlords. 6 months after that, we get 6.1, quote unquote. It had no content. You gave us no content. Like, if you're planning on really sticking to this 1 year expansion, which I am not a fan of, if that is really what's going on here, I am very much not a fan of this 1 year expansion. I think the 2 year model was fine. They just needed to properly do it right. And I think Mists was a way of doing it right, but of course, just like in any expansion, they always leave the tail end way too long. And but the progression of Mist, how we got the patches in Mist, how we got new content to do, new daily hubs, new areas to quest in, to progress story, is what drives Endgame. And I feel and I fear that that is going to be Legion's downfall. I fear that Endgame Legion is going to be Endgame Warlords of Draenor, and that is a fear I greatly have. And I don't want to have that fear, but it seems like every single time we get a lackluster endgame experience. We get a great beginning, the questing experience is great. We have so much to do in the beginning and it feels overwhelming, but then I'm thinking to myself, and I said this even back in my videos like early on in Warlords, it's like I feel like there's just nothing, there's nothing to do, like unless they're planning, like I said, some major hubs or whatever. And then all we got in 6.1 was the open of Blackrock Foundry. And that's it. And a couple of little quality of life issues, a couple of little tweaks to specs in the classes. That's it. And it's like, okay, what? And then we wait like another 6 months, or at least it felt like 6 months. I can't remember the exact time frame, but then we finally get, a couple of months later, we finally get 6.2, which had Tanan Jungle. And I feel like that should have been in 6.1. We should have had Tanan literally in 6.1, and 6.2 should have been something else. We had nothing for so long. And then it's like, and then once 6.2 comes out, oh yeah, it's the end of the expansion, guys. Hellfire Citadel is the last raid. Legion. So, be excited. Okay, what? Like, I don't know, guys. I was very... I don't know what was going on, and Blizzard likes to say that this wasn't a filler expansion, that this did have story, that it was going to spill into Legion and everything. Well, of course, you kind of have to save yourself, Blizzard, because if you don't, it's going to definitely feel like this was a filler expansion, which to me, I don't consider it a filler expansion. I call it a failed expansion. I mean, Blizzard has never failed so hard in an expansion until Warlords of Draenor. And, you look at people like Asmongold, Balar Gaming, Preach, even Novel, like, all of them are just, yeah, they're excited, but they're very, they're straddling the fence a little bit as far as what Blizzard's quality, because we expect a quality from Blizzard that we did not even achieve in this expansion. And I'm sorry to say this, guys, but I mean, Warlords, to me, I just had these high hopes for it. And maybe that was all of our downfalls. Maybe that was all of our fault in the sense of what Blizzard could have done. But, I digress, and I look at these things, and I'm just trying to be hopeful for it, guys. I'm really wanting to have a great next expansion. The Demon Hunters, a brand new class, brand new zones, and the zones is another thing too, but I'll go into that later. But guys, like and subscribe if you like my videos. I will have another Campfire discussion out soon, and I will see you guys later.